Hi, so I wanted to make a quick video on how to assemble these snow globe or shelf sitters. I almost called them ornaments. I was thinking about doing ornaments. That's why I got that on my mind. So I have the winter scene one over here, and then I have the reindeer one over here. So this one you can do two different ways. If you want, you can make this with or without these little florals. So that's it without the florals. And you can see I have not glued it yet. So these are the florals. It's basically the same premise as the other ones. You put the little berries on top. I'll take the little snowflake off. You can see you just put the little holly sprig right on top. You just line everything up, and then you just put that right on top. And easy peasy. And then you can put this wherever you want. If you buy both files, you can even mix and match and put that on this one if you wanted to. I think that looks really pretty, actually. I really like that on that one. So either way, you can mix and match if you wanted to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just disassemble this so you can see how these go together. So I'm going to take this top piece off. And you can see you don't really need to paint a lot on each one. So they really don't take long at all to paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this layer. So this is the top layer, and you can see I just added a little black with my sponge. So I have these little sponges, and I use Distress inks from Tim Holtz. I'll grab that so you can see what I used. So these are the Distress inks. I used the black Distress ink from Tim Holtz. And you can buy those at Michael's or Amazon. And you can just buy the neutrals if you want. You don't have to buy all those different colors. But I just kind of put a little bit on the edges to kind of make it look like it's rounded. So that's all there is to that. And I'm going to take these. So I kept these extra pieces that cut out. You don't have to. You can paint this layer if you wanted to make it more 3D looking. I'm going to take those pieces off. And I just painted those with like a dark gray. And then I just put the black on the edges too with the sponge. So, and then this layer, all you have to do is just paint this white. I did the same thing again. I can zoom in. I know my ring light might kind of wash this out a little bit, but in real life, there's a lot more of the black. So I just took this little sponge and just kind of blended this on here like that. And it added like some dimension. So that's all there is to that layer. And then the next layer is the little snowman layer. And I did the same thing with the black, with the sponge. So you don't really need to do too much on this layer. Because it's going to be covered up by this layer. So you can see, you just need to really paint the snowmen. That's all you really need to do on that layer. And then this layer, you have your trees, and I painted them green, and then I just dry brushed some white over them to make them look snowy. And then I just painted that white on that layer and then added that black again. So that's all there is to that layer. And they really don't have to paint much. And then this layer is the star layer, and then this white layer. There are these little stars, and I painted that part white, and then I painted these yellow, and then I added the black around the edges. So that's all there is to that layer. And then the house layer, all you have to do is paint the house. I painted it brown and then dry brushed the white over it, make it look snowy. And then the back layer, I just painted it just like a dark blue, like a navy for like a night sky. And that's all there really is. I'm just gonna wipe some of that paint off, but that's all there is to that back layer. And then you just put them all back together. And I like how that these stars kind of float. They're not on the very back layer. They kind of go in front of the house, and it just kind of looks really cool that way. Looks like the stars are like right in the sky. I'm gonna put all these layers back on top. That's all there is to this one. And if you want to skip a layer, that's totally up to you too. You don't have to use all the layers. And what's nice about this one, if you use like the 1/4 wood or MDF, then you don't even have to even use a stand for this. It will stand by itself. Even the 1/8, because it's thick enough, you really probably don't need to use a stand. It might just stand by itself. I haven't glued it yet to test my theory on the 1/8, but that's all there is to that one. So it does come with the stand, the kickstand support, just to be on the safe side. I did provide that. But if you don't want to use it, you don't have to if it stands by itself. So that's all there is to that one. Here is our little reindeer one. And I added a little something different on this one. I made this one a little different with some swirls on it, just to make it a little fancy. And this layer has the snowflakes. I'm just gonna wipe this off. I did the same thing with the black again with the sponge, and I just painted those snowflakes white. And then this layer, all you have to do is paint just the deer. And I painted it the same brown as I did with the house, and then just dry brush that white chalk paint over the top of that. So just zoom in so you can see that. And then trees, same thing I did on the other one. And I painted them at the same time, so that way I got them done really fast. They don't take long at all to paint. So there are the trees. Painted them green, and there's all chalk paint. And then there's the white dry brushing to make it look snowy. And then that same blue again. It's like a navy blue for like a nice night sky. And what's cool about this one, I did add an optional clear acrylic layer in the file that if you wanted to, you can put the clear acrylic layer in this section here, and then you can glue it in this area, and then it will be completely sealed, and then you can add fake snow, and then it can actually be a real snow globe. I mean, obviously not with water, but you can actually shake it and have real like fake snow in there. So if you wanted to do that, I did include that clear acrylic layer. You can skip it if you don't want to do that. I'm thinking I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a go and see how it looks. If I don't like it, it's no big deal. I've got a ton of clear acrylic. I got so many sheets of it. It was like $5 on sale. A couple places I saw it. So I grabbed a whole bunch. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to see how the clear acrylic layer looks. I might take a couple pictures before and after I add it just to see if I like it. But I think it'll be pretty cool. I don't have any fake snow though. So we'll see. And then there's our little floral, if you want to add that on there. It's totally optional. You don't have to add that. I'm going to take pictures with and without it once I get all these glued. But I hope you like this file. I think they'll be pretty fun. They both do come with the kickstand supports that go on the back. And that's about it. So happy crafting and happy weekend and happy holidays. Bye.